Yo guys, welcome back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel, and we are back with an update on the situation of Martin Zubimendi today, and we're going to go and get straight into it. So, Martin Zubimendi is a big target, one of the best central defensive midfielders out there at the moment, and he is in high demand. We're going to go through the links with Arsenal, Man City, Real Madrid and Liverpool, and I'm going to try and give you guys an understanding of what is going on in the race/situation for Martin Zubimendi. So let's just start off with Zubimendi and Sociedad. So obviously with Real Sociedad, they didn't start off well at the season, but now they are in good form, and this good form will probably keep Martin Zubimendi at Real Sociedad until the end of the season. Obviously, he still does have that 60 million euros release clause, which can be triggered, but as it's known, any team, first of all, before they trigger a release clause, like to get the yes on the player side, which no team has managed to do yet. And reports around him leaving in January, this is only if, the only way is if Zubimendi said he's going to leave, which I think due to Real Sociedad's recent good form, I think is unlikely. And I think next summer it'll happen. But Martin Zubimendi as well, personally, is starting to come to terms that he will probably have to leave Real Sociedad next summer. So let's start off with Manchester City. So Manchester City seem as a target in January, but as I've just said, it's very hard to bring him away from Sociedad in January. And also on the Manchester City, Man City have him on the list, definitely. Maybe Pep Guardiola being the manager could help them in the race, but the issue is it's seen for Manchester City to get a new midfielder, CDM, in January. It's a very tough task for them because, as for instance with Martin Zubimendi, but also the other players, they're going to be seen as brought in as a short-term playing time for when, because we know when Rodri's back, Rodri will start for Manchester City, and players who Manchester City are linked with, Ederson, Zubimendi, etc., will want first-team football week in, week out, but we know that they'll probably get 6 months of first-team football when they sign, and this is a big issue for Manchester City in the race for Zubimendi. So from where my head's at with Manchester City looking for CDMs, Zubimendi is a target in January, but it's unlikely they can persuade him due to the fact is playing time, because when Rodri comes back, obviously Zubimendi will, or we will be expecting that Rodri starts most weeks, which is an issue, which was one of the main things that we've seen in the past with Calvin Phillips, who signed. So for Manchester City, I'll be looking at other targets like Samuel Riquet. Ederson's a tough deal to get done because Atalanta are unwilling to sell. So Samuel Riquet, but also AC Milan are pushing for Ricky in January. So very tough for Manchester City. They will sign a CDM in January, but at the moment there's no definitive name that they're going to sign. So next up, we're going to talk about Arsenal. So the Arsenal one's an interesting one because we know currently a new sporting director, and one who's been linked with the Real Sociedad sporting director. And Mikel Arteta, once again, a Spanish manager. I don't know if this would play an influence, but once again, if they do manage to bring in the former Real Sociedad sporting director, this would be something that could increase the chance for Arsenal, maybe, as he knows Zubimendi and this sort of stuff. But the issue with Arsenal is they've just signed Mikel Merino. They've got Declan Rice, Odegaard already. And Mikel Merino was seen as a player who could come in as that CDM for Arsenal and complete the midfield puzzle. Thomas Partey could leave next summer, as I've already discussed on my Twitter page at Transfer Daily. So the situation with Arsenal is one that at the moment it's not really hot, but we know the interest is there. And for Arsenal, a move in January will not happen. For Arsenal, it's one for next summer to watch out for. Now, next up, we're going to talk about Real Madrid. And Real Madrid simply also looking for a midfielder for next summer. And I think that there's a feeling around Zubimendi for if Real Madrid did come knocking, he would probably say yes to that. And especially he would say yes is if Xavi Alonso becomes a manager after him and Xavi Alonso. Xavi Alonso absolutely loves Martin Zubimendi as a player, as he worked together at Sociedad, and also the links as Zubimendi's idol is Xavi Alonso. So if Xavi Alonso does become the Real Madrid manager in 2025, which, I mean, is a possibility, but at the moment I'm not actually sure if it'll happen. It all depends on how the season ends with Carlo Ancelotti. But Real Madrid, even if Alonso doesn't become manager, still might look at Zubimendi next summer, as they are looking for a centre mid. So now last up is Liverpool. And from Liverpool's perspective, Martin Zubimendi is still high up on the list. Arne Slot absolutely loves the player, and Zubimendi was very close, very, very close to joining Liverpool last summer. After those last-minute thoughts, obviously the deal didn't happen. So where does this leave Liverpool now? As I've just said, he's still high up on the list, and Liverpool, I can probably say they still have contacts with Zubimendi and his entourage, as they will for many other players as well. But this one is probably one that could end up like Virgil van Dijk, for where in the summer Liverpool obviously waited until January to sign Van Dijk. But as I've just said, the one issue is with Zubimendi, a deal would be tough in January, and at the moment Liverpool aren't expecting the move for Zubimendi in January. The only way Liverpool go in for him in January is if he says, or his entourage says to clubs who are interested that Zubimendi is open to leaving. So if that is the case, Liverpool will be there or thereabouts. And I've said this for a while now with the Zubimendi situation since the summer. If Zubimendi's there, it will be Liverpool and another club. I'll tell you that one now, because Liverpool really, really interested, and they are the closest who have persuaded him to join but failed at the last hurdle. So at the moment, I'd put it in the order of Manchester City transfer, unlikely, unless if they can give him a guarantee that he'll be a first teamer when Rodri's back from injury. Arsenal next summer, Real Madrid next summer, Liverpool potentially in January if Zubimendi's open to the deal. And yeah, so I'm not expecting this race to be open anytime soon. I'd say next summer more than likely, which could potentially put other teams in the mix, but we have to wait and see. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be back with more updates on the transfer market soon.